Hello, beautiful people. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Honest Am here, the creator and writer of the Honesty Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I am here for another daily motivational video. Look, guys, I'm a natural hero. Right. Love the growth. Anyways, it's the growth for me. It's the growth for me. All right. Angel number 21. So a little bit about me. I do not use the tarot. I use God and cousins in the same sentence, and I may mispronounce some things, but if it will not stop Charlamagne the God, it will not stop me. So let's go ahead and get right into it. This week, I'm just kind of in like this open space. But I really want to try to keep the message short, concise. Like, I'm not trying to ramble and all that other crazy stuff. So let's see if we can do it. All right. Angel number 44. Dear God, guardian angels, ancestors, become you as humble as we know how. Can you say thank you? Thank you for waking us up. Thank you for allowing us to be able to connect in this way. My God, I ask that any information or guidance you deem worthy for us here at this time, please do this message to me and for me as good as possible. God is my prayer. All right. Let's do 2 cards. One more. 3 snuck on out. So the 2 cards that came up right is joy and respect. Right away, I just get the message to have joy and respect the process. And then the other message right underneath is a support. And I feel like the reason why God is wanting you to just have fun, really try to, bring some joy into your life is because it's going to help this process further along. And then I also feel like what God is saying is that I feel like for some reason I'm getting energy that some of you guys are you're really, really frustrated. You feel like God is not helping you. And again, you have to realize it's just the way that you're looking at it. It's like you're so stuck on the frustration. You're so stuck on what's not going right, what's not there, why you're still at that job, instead of really just finding joy, finding peace with the day-to-day life and just respecting the process. We actually have a message that came out on the channel about it was something about daily life or falling in love with your daily life, or I don't know, something like that. But pretty much the energy is you need to find a way to make peace with your day-to-day life. Angel number 226, which fair, I'm there, girl. All right, God, clarify this message of joy, respect, support. What are you trying to get us to understand with this message of finding joy in our daily life? How that would help us along in our process, and how would that help us see that you are there to support us? Let us know any guidance, obstacles, or roadblocks that may be in the way. God, in my prayer. Okay. I'm not going to take this upside down because I just feel like this deck is upside down. So for joy, what came out is temperance. And this is why God is saying that he really wants you to try to find joy in your day-to-day life. The reason why you need to, and it doesn't have to be like this is the best thing ever, but the reason why it's so important to have morning routines is because if you can start your day off on a high note, angel number 336, if something go wrong, you don't fall all the way down. But if you start your day off just rushing or like without intentions, without setting the tone, like any little inconvenience is going to make you more and more frustrated. And I also feel like what God is saying is that outside of whatever creative endeavor you need to do, you need to find like little pockets of joy. So for me, I realized like I really actually enjoy the process of cooking. I would listen to some music and just have the music blasting, or I'll listen to a podcast or something that's on YouTube. And like, yeah, that's what I did last night. I had some wine. I made like homemade homemade pico de gallo. So that was like a lot of chopping. And I was just like, listening to it was Cocktails with Queen. No, not Cocktails with Queen. Friday Night Live with Claudia and Al. And like, I was just cooking and, listening to them, drinking my wine and laughing. And like, that really, I really felt good. Like, that really made me feel good. Angel number 444. Another thing that I've been doing is making sure that, every day I'm reading at least 2 paragraphs, reading at least 2 chapters a day. And I just, because I want to start reading more. Like, I know, like, as a little kid, like, reading is what helped me through my days. Like, and I know, like, reading is honestly what probably saved my fucking life. And I'm not saying, like, it has to be that deep, but, like, I feel like, you know, I think I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, like, when I was in college, I didn't read at all. Like, I think the only book I did read was probably my senior year, my grad year, was the last Harry Potter book. Like, it was so bad that I missed the Harry Potter book. Like, that's how disconnected I was from who I am and what I do. And then when I was going through, like, my quarter life crisis, I did a lot of reading, and that's what kind of prompted me to want to write a book. But then I have been, like, so in my book, I haven't been reading as much, like, or if I am reading, it's like, you know, self-help and stuff like that. So I made this rule last year, like, I wasn't doing any self-help books. And I realized, like, when I was just in a good reading groove, when I was just reading books that I really enjoyed, that made me feel good, I've been reading a lot of romance books, I was mentally in a better place. And, like, so this year I'm just trying to continue that. And, like, right now I'm reading this thriller, and it is, like, so fucking good. Like, it's called I Am Pilgrim. It's so far from what I've ever read, but it is just, like, so good. And I found, like, last night, instead of me, like, falling asleep to a TV show or something, I actually was reading my chapters before I went to bed, and, you know, did my sleep hypnosis tracks. And, like, I feel like I am in, like, a better headspace. So I say all that to say that God is asking you to find little moments of joy throughout your life. I mean, throughout your day-to-day life. Like, you have to find something to look forward to, whether that's the meal that you're cooking for yourself. Maybe you really enjoy working out, maybe doing a yoga class. Like, that's really what I'm going to get into this month, because I want to start having, like, some outside sources, you know, like, really start to get out the house just a little bit more. And I really, really want to take care of my body. And so I'm going to do that. Like, I'm going to add that on to my routine. And so all of these things, they're not, you know, it's not helping me in my career, and it's not helping, honestly, sis, but it's making me a more well-balanced person. Angel number 711. And that's what God is trying to get you to understand. You're so focused on, you know, healing yourself and becoming better and all this stuff and getting this business off the ground, and it's like the joy is being taken away from it. So God is just asking you to find other things to do throughout your day to help bring you in balance. The reason why, and oh my God, what respect the process is the lovers, and what God is trying to get you to understand is that love, joy, that lighthearted energy is the most powerful energy there is. Like, you have to understand that if you're doing something that you genuinely believe in your heart, body, and soul, that God asked you to do this, like, this is something that you feel like, you know, your divine offering to the world, like something that only you can do. Like, you have to know that that is a powerful energy, and that you have not only God on your side, but your ancestors, your spirit team, the light, everybody is trying to help assist you to get to this place. Because what you have to understand is that when we're not happy, and it's not even about being happy, when we're not in the energy of love, like, that's what gets the world off balance a little bit. Like, when you're not thank you, God, when you're not in the energy of love, you're not connected to your God source. And so when you're in this frustration, you can't hear God. You can't hear the support that God is trying to give you. You can't move through the drama because you're just so, you know, bogged down. So that's why God is really trying to get you to understand the power of love, the power of moving in love. Angel number 852. And actually, we just had the message that came out on Monday that was talking about all about that, the power of moving in love. And so that's why I feel like this message is coming about, is because God is saying, like, I know that you're working very hard. I see you working hard. Actually, let's look at this card of the Lovers, right? Angel number 911. I look at this and I see, like, this is God. God is bringing together all of these counterparts. Now, a lot of us look at this and we can say, you know, this us and our divine mate. And that may be what you're looking for. And you may be frustrated that it's not coming in. Again, the message comes back to you're being so frustrated, you're looking for it, that you're not in balance. Like, you need to find more joy in your life. But I also look at this as though, like, this is you, and then this is the business partner. This is you, and then this is the perfect company that you need to to go through. You have to understand about the respect, the process. You have to understand that there is a divine timing, a divine play of things. And so if you believe in God, come on, he says this all the time. If you believe in him, you got to believe in him. If you believe that God asked you to do this, right? And you believe that everything, okay. In Jeremiah 28, is it 29:11, God says, I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you, plans for you to have a future and all that stuff, right? If you believe that God only wants the best for you, and this is why it's always so important for you to ask yourself, who is God to you? What type of God do you have? Do you have a Santa Claus God? Do you have a God that's like, oh, not you nice? Have you been a good girl? You know, what type of God do you have? Or do you have a God that just genuinely wants the best for you? That wants what you want, that just wants you to be in this energy of love. Angel number 1040. If you have that type of God, then you have to know that no matter what's going on in your life, it's ultimately happening for your greater good. You have to know that everything that's happening in your life is bringing you into balance so that you can get into this place where you are in union with whatever that thing that you're looking for, right? So if you know that, instead of stressing out about where's the blessing, why is this not happening, why am I still in this job, you should just be focusing on doing those little things that bring you joy. Okay? Underneath this, I want to move on. And for support, we have the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is somebody that is, she's very focused on where she's going. She's very focused on that cup. Like, so back here again, like about this business opportunity you're looking for, this man that you're looking for, whatever this is, you're like the Queen of Cups. You're focused in on it, right? She's also very grounded in her emotions. And I feel like for some of you guys, what's happening is that I feel like there is a little bit of disconnect with you and your emotions. Like, I feel like the frustration, it's like you try to mask the frustration with doing more work or this. And it's like, God is like, that's not really the purpose of your emotions. These emotions are coming up to give you information. Like, your emotions are important. And this is why the Queen of Cups is so important with the support, is because I feel like it's something in that frustration. Yes, you're super focused on your goals. You're super focused on where you're going. But I feel like because you're so frustrated, you're not really hearing what this frustration is trying to tell you, if that makes any sense. So let me, like, say, for example, I was really, really frustrated with my job with, like, I'm like, oh, well, they don't value me. They don't see my worth. And I realized that deep down inside is because, you know, I needed that outside validation, right? I needed that outside validation. But when I started doing the work and I started like just realizing like, oh, I'm doing something. I have something going for myself, whether this job realize it or not. Then all of a sudden, when I pull my energy back, now all of a sudden the job come in like, oh, you're amazing. You want to get your promotion and we want you to do this PMAT train. We want you to do all these, you know, become a certified PM and all this other stuff. And it's like, I just wish y'all didn't see me again. You know, like, I wish that y'all just was looking lowly of me and y'all didn't understand me. But it's like, so I say all that to say that the moments of frustration is telling you stuff about yourself. I was realizing that I was using this job. Why it was so important for me to not be in a job is because that was an indicator of me growing, me changing. And so the more that I was in my job, that meant that I wasn't growing, I wasn't changing. So I had to change my belief. And I'm like, girl, that's not even true. Like, look who you are. Look at what has you created. You're not the same person. And so this is why God is saying it's so important for you to listen to your emotions, not just be frustrated, not just be in it, but actually listen to it. Actually try to figure out what it's trying to tell you so that you can really, truly get closer to this, you know, this heart's desire, because that's what the cups are all about. It's all about these things that we really, really want, like deep, deep down inside. And it's like you're frustrated, but you're not really hearing what you really want. And I feel like if you could just hear yourself, then you could move on. But don't take my word for it, because I feel like I'm like losing my damn self. Let's just get a tool real quick. God, clarify this message of joy, respect, support. What are you trying to get us to understand about respecting the process of our emotions? What are you trying to get us to understand about the power of joy, the power of love? What do you want us to get us to understand about really listening to those moments of frustration? Like, really listening to it. Allow no room for doubt or confusion. Give us just one card, God, to clarify it all. No room or confusion. Make it, no. Make it plain. There we go. Here we go. So this is the card that we I love it. And it's actually perfect. What do I want and why do I want it? When you acknowledge what you do not want and then ask yourself what it is that you do want, you begin a gradual shift into the telling of a, excuse me. I'm going to start over. Angel number 1528. When you acknowledge what you do not want, and then ask yourself what it is that I do want, you gradually begin to shift into telling of your new story into a new, much improved point of attraction. You get the essence of what you think about, whether you want it or not, because the law of attraction is inherently consistent. Therefore, you are never only telling the story of how it is now, you are also telling the future experience that you are creating right now. I hope you caught it. What do I want and why do I want it? Remember, I was telling you, you're so focused on your frustration. You're so focused on, oh my God, I'm working so hard. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Why is it not happening? Realizing that what you think about is what you're getting. And so you're thinking about the frustration. You're thinking about why it's not happening. You're thinking about why it's not happening. And guess what? What you're going to get is more frustration, more delays. But if you could just find a way to turn your attention, to bring yourself into balance and to be like, you know what? I'm not going to focus on this area of my life right now. I'm not going to focus on that. Instead, I'm going to respect the process and just focus on becoming one with myself, moving myself in this energy of love, so that whenever something do come up that I don't want or that's displeasing to me, I can ask myself, why? What is it that I really do want? This is God explaining to you, this is why your emotions are so important, because you feel the frustration, and instead of asking it, well, what do I want? You just stay stuck in the frustration. You just stay frustrated, and then you get mad at God because you're like, damn, God, I'm frustrated. You ain't even trying to help me out of it. You don't listen to me. And it's like, no, it's not that I'm not listening to you. You're not listening to you. If only you would just listen and ask yourself, will you really, really do what you really want deep down inside instead of being so frustrated, then God could offer you this new beginning. This Ace of Pentacles. This Ace of Pentacles is this new idea, this new business venture that can carry you to on the other side. What I realized, I'm like, all last year, I was like, ugh. What's going on? I'm so irritated. And it was like, oh, because I'm not living. I'm so focused on, I need a blessing. I need a blessing that I stopped living. Y'all, I wasn't going on vacations. I wasn't going out with friends. Like, I was just so focused on why this not happening? Why is my life not changing? Not realizing that it's because of my attention. I had to die to these limiting beliefs. I had to change my direction of my energy. I had to change the direction of what I was giving my attention to. And this is what this message is all about. You're so focused on the frustration, and God is just saying, I understand. God gets it. Being a human is fucking hard. If nobody has told you, I'm going to tell you. Amber Sade Sobit, agree with you. Being a human is fucking hard. It's difficult. But it's difficult, but you have to understand two things. One, not everybody down here is feeling what you're feeling. Everybody did not come down here to be a fucking human. There are literally zombies. Why you think of so many zombie movies? because there are literally zombies among us. And it's not these zombies. It's people who look like you and me who are dead inside, who cannot feel their heart, who cannot feel their emotions. And that's why they suck all their fucking energy off of other people. And this is not a literal thing, people. It's spiritual. And so what God is trying to get you to understand is that instead of cursing yourself and being like, oh, I feel so deeply. I don't want to feel. Yes, you do. You do want to feel because you want to be a fucking human, right? Because you want to be able to stand in your support. You want to stand in your God power and be able to ask yourself at all times, well, I'm frustrated. Why am I frustrated? And what do I actually really want? Because when you do that, you bring yourself in balance and you bring yourself closer and closer to all those things that you want, your dreams. Angel number 2002. I'm gonna leave it alone. Last thing is, I want to harmonize with what I believe is good. I want to be the best that I can be. I want to do and have and live in a way that is in harmony with my idea of the greatest goodness. I want to harmonize physically here and in this body with that which I believe to be the best or the good way of life. If you will make those statements, then do not take action unless you feel good. You will always be moving in harmony with your idea, which is good. This is what God is trying to get you to understand. And then look what's right under this. The law of attraction adds right back to my problem and my solution. So this is God doubling down. You're so frustrated. But you have to find a way to shift your intention. Yesterday I was listening to, I didn't finish it all the way up, but I started listening to the interview with Keke Palmer on the Breakfast Club. And like, she was just talking about, Keke was talking about like how she realized like going on vacations is just as important as working hard. Like we think, you know, yeah, it does look cute to put it on the gram and have, you know, taking pictures in your bikinis and all that stuff and have people look like, woe is me. But it's really like you have to do that for your own sanity, like to break up the routine, to give yourself something to look forward to. And that's why I didn't realize last year. I didn't realize, like, I was waiting, and this is going to be very, very honest. I was waiting for people to just invite me places. Like, and I'm not saying like on some just dumb shit. Like, yeah, I would tell people, oh yeah, like I really want to do this or this, and then I will look on the Instagram and they would be there with somebody else. And I was just getting my feelings hurt. Like, damn, why niggas ain't inviting me places? Why people don't want to be with me? You know, like, here we go. All in my feelings. Oh, I'm so lonely. I'm such a loser. Nobody want to fuck with me. Why people don't want to fuck with me? Blah, 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 blah. You know, just in my fucking head about the shit. Instead of realizing like, oh, these people, harmonizing with what is good, these people are telling me what they feel about me. They're telling me how they view me. I'm an option. I'm not a priority. So instead of waiting around for these people to magically be like, oh yeah, do you want to come to be a part of my life? No, I just have to go and put things for myself to look forward to. And yeah, I got fucked up last year because I haven't done it before. I never planned trips and all that stuff. So it was like, I didn't know how to do it. But guess what? This year, I'm doing the same thing. I said I wanted to go on 4 trips last year. I went on 4 trips last year. Magically. Fuck magic. Because this shit ain't even magic. It's life. Okay? It's life. It's working with the spiritual realm. It's life. Anyways. So I went on 4 trips. So I said, this year I want to go on 8 trips. This year I want to end my year on somebody beach. This is what I want. I'm not going to limit myself by being like, oh, can I afford it? Yes, bitch, you can afford it. I ain't got no kids. I ain't got no major houses. I ain't got nothing. I can afford this. And I'm going to do it because it gives me something to look forward to. Yeah, I'm working hard. Yeah, I'm doing my task list, but I also have things to look forward to. I have my birthday trip. I'm actually excited. For the first time in years, I'm excited about my birthday, and it ain't got nothing to do about, oh, is this nigga actually gonna do something special for me? No, it's because I'm doing something special for me. I'm doing something for myself. And I'm gonna keep doing that until I get the support, until I get the people that I need. You have to realize you are the star player of your life. You can't sit around waiting for people to grant you permission to live your life. No, go live your life. And listen, I understand it's scary. I went on my first solo vacation. I was scared. I was nervous. Okay. Like, it was not easy. The first time I took myself out on a dinner date. I was nervous. I was scared. But guess what? Agent number 2424. I got through it. I didn't die. People didn't look at me at the bar like, she by herself. Because that's what I was thinking in my head. I was thinking I was walking there and people like, oh my God, girl, why you by yourself? People are so fucking caught up. The beauty and the curse of the world right now is that people are so fucking caught up in their world that they don't even have time to look and pay attention to you. People are just so caught up in their own fucking world. And when I stopped worrying about what people think about me and how do I look, I actually enjoyed myself. And I was actually mad that I only had a 3-day vacation. I'm like, damn, I should have did longer. And so guess what? Instead of being mad at myself, I taught myself. Oh, this is a learning thing. Oh, I learned this. I learned that I want to do this more. I learned that, it's not too bad to go out. I learned that, well, when I have my hair done and I look good and I feel good, confident in my clothes, I don't mind being out on my own. I find power in that. And so it's like, this message is coming about is that God is like, stop waiting for life to happen. Stop waiting for somebody to bring you joy. You have to get it on your own. And even if this is pertaining to love, it's a card in our Getting Into the Vortex deck that says that you have to co-create from a place of positive co-creation, which means that if you are looking for somebody and you are insecure, you're looking for somebody to bring you joy, you need somebody else to bring you in balance, guess what? That person's going to bring you in balance for a month and then they're going to keep your ass out of balance for 2 years. So it's like, find this shit on your own so that when you are attracting people, when you do get these new opportunities that's coming into your life, it's actually in alignment with what you really genuinely want deep down inside. Nobody's saying that what you want is unreasonable, but what God is trying to say is that if you're going to stay so frustrated, if you're going to stay so stuck into the bad part, he can't give you the good. Okay? Angel number 2630. I'm actually going to lead a message there. God, I'm going to end this message with a blessing from the universe. God, what comes to us if we decide to take control of our daily life? What happens if we decide to make love and joy our number one priority, God? What if we only do things that make us feel good? How would our life change? What blessing would you impart on us? Allow no room for doubt or confusion in me or the viewer's mind. In God's name I pray. Ashe. One card, please. And I'll take it. The blessing of questioning. Examine and identify any belief that stems from an irrational fear. Ask yourself, do I still need this? If the answer is no, then replace it with a trusting, more loving belief. Blessings flow to you as soon as you do this. Set yourself free. And look at that. The blessing of a questioning, doubling down on this, what do I want and why do I want it? So again, God is saying you have to ask yourself the tough questions. You have to ask yourself what it is you really want. Where did you get this belief for? I told you guys, I no longer wanted to say that shit about, oh, I'm a loser. Nobody got me. Nobody understand me. I'm so strange. I had to ask myself, is that serving me? Is that going to help me become who I want to be if I keep living in this belief that I'm so weird, nobody gets me? No, it doesn't serve me. No, it doesn't help me. And I need to let it go. And guess what? I replaced that with a belief that I'm worthy of love in all forms. As long as I stay true to myself, I harmonize with myself, then God will deliver me those people who are in alignment with my dreams. The very last blessing that I want to leave you guys with is this blessing of meditation. Your window of perception is cleansed, and for a moment you see life as it truly is, infinite and eternal. Meditation will help you rise above any situation and event and see things clearly. What usually seems chaotic and disorderly can seem the opposite. Know there is divine order in your life. And I feel like this is just clarifying this message of respect the process with love. God letting you know that he knows what you need. He sees your frustration. But you have to understand that a part of being human is taking control of your life and taking control ultimately of your vibration and making sure that you're only moving in the energy of love and harmony. All right, y'all. That's all the messages I have for you. Actually, I do want to say, with this blessing of meditation, angel number 2920, it actually reminded me for our second honest chat is coming up February 15th. It's going to be all about a night of meditation. And so if you haven't meditated, you want to kind of understand what that process is like. I have a little couple of techniques and tools and tricks that help you get into it a little bit more easily and to stay in that center place. So if you're interested in that, make sure you check out the website. All the information is down below. For everyone else, if you are not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Make sure that you subscribe. And until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never, ever, ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. Mm-hmm.